All right, welcome to the Haters Ball, man. It is your boy Dumb It Down. I'm here with my older brother, the old Baldy,
Yeah.
and my younger brother, B Dog. And
Hey,
we got to start off, man. Listen, the Saints drafted, Tyler Snow before Shador Sanders, and we saw both of them play in the preseason games, man, and one of them was not like the other. So, how y'all feeling? Did they make the biggest mistake ever? Um, we're gonna be clown forever for this decision. I just want to know what y'all thoughts before we get on.
why we of all teams? No, but also tank for Archie. That's all I care about.
I'm so tired of hearing about that dude. But besides that, this ain't the worst thing the Saints done. So nobody gonna forget Ricky Williams in that wedding dress. So that's always gonna be worse.
All right. Well,
Damn.
I think it's pretty terrible.
It is, but it ain't that level. I mean, this dude Shuck seems garbage. But
Yeah, Shuck. Yeah, Shuck. Yeah.
but maybe he can get better, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no faith in him, but maybe he get better. I don't really understand. I watch a little college football, and in college, to me, if I ain't hear about you in college, how you all of a sudden you just this top in the NFL? I really don't understand that. It does happen for some people because it's like that's how Mahomes wasn't. He wasn't like super known, but now he's the GOAT. And what's his face wasn't the dude from Buffalo, Josh Allen. I ain't never heard of that dude, and all of a sudden he was the top guy. But some of these dudes they be showing, I'm like, this guy's mid. I'm a Hurricanes fan. I watch the Hurricanes play these teams, and I'm like, this dude sucks. And then all of a sudden they'd be like, he's gonna be great. I promise you. It's like, well, when? I saw him. He wasn't that good. And now you telling me he's gonna be great all of a sudden. Like Lamar Jackson was good in college. Most of the other greats have been good in college. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a surprise. But then again, Tom Brady, he's GOAT. He was trash in college. He was a backup basically. So exactly. It's hard to know. So people say that they get paid millions of dollars to make the picks. If they think this dude good, maybe he'll be somebody. But right now, he's looking like a bum.
But even like his combine video going viral on social media, he like throw his sidearm, miss the dude big time. Like it's just bad. I don't know how we're ever gonna justify that pick before Shador. So it's all good.
Well, you know why they didn't want Shador, man. They didn't really want to deal with Dion, man. That's what it really is. Especially the Saints ownership. Gail, she trying to give all that money to them priests doing them things they shouldn't be doing. And she don't want Dion up in there being Dion to call it out and be like, hey, you gotta stop worrying about the Catholic Church, man. Put your money on his team. Stop worrying about that other shit. And she'll be mad about that. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want Dion around. They don't want him poking their nose in their business, making them look bad. So of course that's why people didn't want to pick Shador.
100%. 100%.
Shador probably told him in the interview, I don't want to be on this trash team too. He probably said, don't draft me if you garbage. He said, I don't want to go to the Saints.
I imagine that too. So, all right, well, man, this weekend, dog, the little brother went to a concert, or they had a concert in Atlanta, and I definitely went to go see it, man. Little brother's on the final tour. It's gonna be their final tour. They said they're one of my top 5 groups all time. Fonte's one of the my top 5 favorite rappers of all time. So I had to go to the show. I got my little brother merch. Man, I just gotta say, it was one of the best shows I've ever seen. One of the best shows I've ever seen. They had I would say probably the second best show I've ever been to, a hip hop show. The energy was crazy, and they so funny in between. It's like almost like they have it's a comedian up there. Fonte will have his laughing in between the songs when he starts talking, and then they played like so many dope songs. They played like mixtape songs. They weren't just playing like just the hits and stuff like that. They played for a while too. They played. They were out there, well over an hour. When they usually, they said they usually would end the song with, loving it, but then they continued going after that. And then they left the stage, and then everybody started yelling for an encore. They came back out, did another encore. Just hands down, man, one of the best shows I've ever seen. They were awesome. 100%.
Nah,
How many
why
times
ain't
did you cry, man? I want to know what
that's a
did
good
you cry
question.
when they did the yo-yo? Did you cry
Nah.
when they did Loving It? How many times did you cry,
I
man?
didn't
No, let
cry.
me
I
guess.
didn't cry.
You probably cried when Fonte did the live action Diary of a Mad Black Daddy. Is that when you cried?
He didn't do that. He didn't do that. But no, I didn't cry. I didn't cry. They did play cheating. The DJ played cheating
Oh, that's great.
before
That's
the
great.
show, and everybody
How
was
could
singing
do
it.
this
You know,
to me after all these years. That joke is funny. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, everybody, the whole crowd was singing. It was dope. It was great. It was great. So, like I said, man, if
Nah,
they
we
in
gotta
your
talk
city,
about you.
go
Nah,
ahead.
we gotta talk about you meeting these niggas and not fanning out. I'm not a fan of that, dog. If they your
Yeah.
top five, you gotta fan out for your top five. That's
What do
not a
you
real
mean?
top
How
five.
do
You
you?
don't
Okay,
feel.
so this is good. This is a good conversation. How do you act when you meet your favorite rapper? Like I wasn't even gonna talk to him. All right, so it's funny because we walking down the stairs. We in the same hotel. I know. We in the same. My wife was mad at me because I wasn't even gonna talk to him. We were in the same hotel, and we walk out
Money,
because we
wealth.
about to go to breakfast, and my wife's like, "Oh look, there's other people that must be going to the show because they got the LP merch on." And I look back and I'm like, that's Fonte, you know? So my wife immediately walks over and introduces herself and was like, yo. And then I was like, I'm a big fan and stuff. So that's it. But I didn't want to be, I don't want to bother people, I don't want to be like, an annoying fan.
Once in a
How are you supposed
lifetime.
to act?
Now all he was hearing was isn't that Big Pooh's verse on
Groupies?
they say I should be more happy and be more friendly and
Yeah.
smile a little more. Which one is that? Doing me. Yeah. But didn't he say something about groupies also, but I mean tell the dudes leave him alone. Can I live? Have a moment to breathe? You're like, dang, they gonna rap about me when the show comes up. Like,
I wasn't thinking of that one. I was thinking of groupies though. I definitely thought of groupies. Yeah.
Nah.
Because my wife was
No.
like, you should ask her to be on the podcast. You should ask her. I was like, nah, I can't do that.
Why? Hey, maybe.
Nah, that would have been cold.
Maybe.
Yeah. That is interesting. So how would y'all behave if you see your favorite rapper? If you see whatever, you see Drake or whoever your favorite rapper, you see Kanye. I mean, your favorite rapper is kind of lame though, but how do you act? Do you see your favorite rappers?
I don't know, man. I guess if I met Ghostface, he might get mad at me because I might try to like give him some daps and stuff. Be like, yo, Ghost. He Ghost be like, yo, shut up. Smack me or something.
I gave him that, and I got a picture.
That's the right thing, man. That's the right thing. That's all you got to do. So you can't do too much more than that because I mean, like, what else? How much more?
Wasn't gonna get it.
Right, your girl had to tell you to.
Nah. I always said if it's a top five, like Cole used to be in that for me. Last year kind of hurt that for me, but I always said that if I saw that nigga at the hospital, I would go and talk to him. Like, and I just tell him what he meant to me. Sometimes people need to hear that, nigga.
All right, yeah. I mean,
like, dang,
okay.
I love you. You changed my music. I appreciate everything you've done. Like, blah blah, and then that's it. But nah, I gotta fan out. I gotta fan out a little bit.
All right. Hey, so listen, maybe I'll regret it, whatever, or maybe I'll see him again one day. Who knows? So
you get the picture, man. The picture is good, man. You got the picture, you good. Like, man, how much more you need? You met him, and then you cried at the show front row when they did when they sang what's that the one of the marriage ones off his solo album. He probably did one of those.
He didn't do it.
None of the solo stuff he didn't do none of the solo stuff.
Nah, he did Tickle for Dolo. That's it.
Okay. I mean, that's technically on a Little Brother album, even though
they did all stuff from the Little Brother album. He didn't do anything from Foreign Exchange or.
Did he do stuff from these last Black Little Brother albums, like the ones that's not as good?
Number one is not whack. So let's stop that right there. Number one, their worst album is Left Back, and I just they did Glory. They did Glory.
Oh, nice. Okay, all right, cool. They need to do some of that shit. Let Westside EP they shit. That'd be fire.
Yeah, so they did All in a Day when we came out for the encore. That's what they came back out to. So I mean, they did a ton of stuff from a ton of albums.
Man, on All in the Day, but man, they should have did. They didn't do Let's Move. They should have did Let's Move or Nick's Groove.
They didn't do. No, they didn't do.
Yeah, I know they foreign exchange, but still, they both on them. You know, so
yeah. So
that's good. That's good. I'm glad you went, man, to represent, because I would have loved to go as well, but then I couldn't make it to that one, and I didn't even make it to the one I wanted to go to that was here. So that's a bummer. But I'm going to see Clips tomorrow, so I'm excited about that.
For sure. All right, man. Let's get some of the topics. We got a couple people in the chat, man. Like, sub. We're definitely gonna be talking about this JID album right now. About to get to it. So please like, sub if you rocking with us. And then let's get to this album, man. JID made God Does Like Ugly. And I want to know, I'm interested in know what y'all think, because everybody's talking about it online, it seems like. And there's a couple of mixed reviews I've seen. Some people, are calling it his best album. I see some people say it's not as good as the last one. Some people say it's, got great parts, and then some parts suck. So let's get to it. I'm gonna share. All right. So God Does Like Ugly, right here. What y'all thoughts on this album? Let's start with
this shit was fire that it started off with Westside. That shit was fire. I love that he started off with Westside. Great energy. I love it. But overall, I like the album. They got some shit on here I'll never play again. But they got some. I like that. They got some high highs on here too, though.
Okay, speak to that. What? So the highs. So tell us your highs. Tell us what's the highs, and then tell us what you never.
VCR might be in contention for Song of the Year for me. I love that song. It's amazing. Of course, I like You Ugly to start it off. Yeah, exactly, with Vince Staples. I like all the songs without features for sure. I like Community with clips, but he got some features on here. I'm like, I didn't want to hear that. That's not for me. So
okay,
that's the low lows, really.
Speaking of that, though, speaking of features, how y'all feel about the secret features thing? Like, none of the features are listed on the album. How y'all feel about that? Just as general as a concept.
Well,
they listed
YouTube
for me
Music,
now, but
yeah, exactly. It shows it now, but I do like it.
But I like it. That encourages you to listen to it like an album, and not skip to the song with the person that you like the most. So I would have skipped straight to the Vince Staples song, honestly, because I like Vince Staples. I mean, probably as much as anybody is a rapper. Like, I mean, I'm a fan. So if I'd have saw his song, I'd have went to that first. And sometimes people do that with albums, especially nowadays, where you just click it. People don't open it, press play, and let it rock. So it encourages you to do that at least the first time, which might even help you with your streams. I don't know. I mean, people always trying to game the algorithm, but certainly if you could deliver the experience the way you're trying to deliver it, at least it encourages it. People still won't do it. They might just look it up online, but
yeah, I like the idea. I like the idea for sure. To me, the only issues is sometimes I don't like. I am one of the people who just play an album and I don't look at the track. So sometimes I don't see the name of the track while I'm listening. I'm just doing something, and then when I go back, what was the one with Malice on it? Oh, where was that one with? And I gotta now I'm like looking and it's not listed. That's what is annoying when I go back to listen. But like you said, if they update it and put it on later, then it's a good idea. So
yeah.
All right, then you didn't say what was the skips though. Oh, you didn't say what were the ones that. Oh, you said the ones with features on it. But Baldy, what are your thoughts? What you think of the highlights? What do you think of the?
I like this album, man, but it did feel like kind of all over the place at times for me. So, what were my favorite ones? Yeah. That's you want me. Oh, okay. My favorite ones. Probably the first one. So You Ugly. I like Glory. I like G's, VCRs. Those are probably my favorite ones. Yeah, those are probably my favorite ones.
And then okay, and so I think this is the general consensus. I think the beginning of the album, the first 6 songs to me are great. I thought like it was on a high, like great start. As soon as Fly Guy comes on, and it was like, all right, great. And then it's like Glory, got the choirs, dope production, love that song. And then and then it goes, the song with Malice and Push, and I love Malice's verse on that. And G's, I love that song. It's probably one of my favorite songs on there. And then the one with Vince Staples comes on. So that whole run is like, man, he's killing it. Very high highs. And then to me, my issue is that it never gets back to those highs in the album. Like after that point, it gets into the R&B part. And Skate is a song I've seen people talking about online. So I want to know, what are y'all thoughts on that song in particular?
Pretty bad, man. Don't want to hear that shit again. No, it's not that I don't want to hear. It's just not from him. This is not the type of song I expected to hear from him.
I like the song. I'm not personally playing it, too often, but I like the song. That is a part of their time growing up. That skating shit. I mean, that was I feel like that's a lot of Atlanta. And so they represent showing how it was. I don't know if it's still like that, but I didn't grow up there, so I don't know for sure. But I know that even in ATL and other places, you see them talk about them skating rinks and the things involved. I mean, we used to go to the skating rink where I grew up in New Orleans, but it wasn't the same thing. It seemed like it was a bigger deal for them. And that song is cool with the I like the sample. I like everything. I like the vibe of it. I don't hate the song.
Yeah, I didn't hate the song either.
Country.
Right, I could definitely see it, playing at the skating ring. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I definitely could see it play at the skating ring, and it like of course, the people who can skate good, they be spinning and dancing on the skates. I was never that good, I'm just going in a circle, dog, trying not to fall, dog.
Right. I'm just trying not to fall. You doing all kinds of stuff, picking chicks up, sliding under their legs, popping back up, all that type of stuff. Yeah, making me look like a straight lame out there. Yeah. That's okay though.
So I'm not mad at the song. To me, the worst songs are I Hate What We On. I really don't like that song. Or No Boo. I don't like that song at all either. So to me, those are the worst ones. But I see a lot of people hating on Skate. I like Wholeheartedly of the R&B songs. I think that one was the best one. And like I said, I like
There's a lot of skips at this part to me, man. Like I don't even hate I don't even hate the songs necessarily. So it's the thing is, I'm just so in a different place from where a lot of people are as far as music goes. So some people, this might be the highlight of the album for them. It's upbeat. And some people like that type of stuff a lot more. I just don't really want to hear this. So I was happy to leave this part of the album behind.
Right. So I think that's part of the thing that been people been having mixed conversations about. I think at the end it picks up with after on McAfee, it starts off on track 12, it picks back up to the rapping, and then it's Of Blue, K-Word I liked, and For Keeps I liked, but the rest of it, there just were a lot more skips on it than I expected.
I got lost and zoned out, man, to be honest with you. I listened to this a couple times. The first time I listened to it, I would think I was cutting grass or something. So I put it on, listened to it. I was really into it while it was helping me get my stuff done. And then at some point, probably around What We On, I lost it. And so then I didn't even realize like I had to go back because those songs had played and I wasn't even paying attention no more. I was thinking of something else. I was busy with what I was doing. So then I went back and played it again, paid more attention. And I was like, oh, this is why I zoned out. This is why I lost it.
Yeah. Because to me, like the song Of Blue makes me like, there's like a long intro and stuff like that. Yeah, like I definitely can see how like you like lose focus on that, especially. But I like the last song. I always like it when he I feel like he does this in a lot of his albums. He gets more personal on the last song and kind of explains the story a little bit. And so I like that one. And I like K-Word, but the big middle chunk of the album to me is lacking. So that being said, what y'all rated?
The good old B-Dog 7 for me.
All right.
Yeah, it's better than bad. It's not. It's better than mid. This is a good album. This is probably a 7. Yeah, I think this is a 7.
Yeah.
Okay. I give it an 8. I like because the songs I like a lot.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, the dude
I do
rapping
like
well,
those
man.
a lot. Yeah.
The dude's rapping good, man. You know, he got every song or a lot of the songs got both flows on them or something like that. I mean, the dude like he's switching it up. He ain't have tons of bars throughout, but he has some, you know, good bars at times, and the flows are just immaculate. I mean, I think he's entertaining. I don't love all the production, but I just don't know if it's all, you know, even supposed to be aimed at me. Because some of it sound busy for like nothing. Like I had it on in my car and I just wasn't. It didn't something about it didn't hit right when I was riding around. So, and I played it a couple times.
Yeah, it's so this is how I felt several times when I played it. I mean, it's such a big difference from like when you listen to like say, you know, Alchemist stuff, you listen to Alfredo 2, like I said, that is, you know, more I guess, the more lower-fi, you know, type hip hop beats type stuff. But then, you know, you get to this and it's very busy. Like it just seems like, you know, there's, you know, stuff going on, you know, all kinds of noises being made and stuff like that. So it is definitely a very different, you know, energy. But I think, man, this dude, to me, the way he raps, I mean, he's killing a lot of these verses on here. The alliteration he uses, he's constantly, I mean, to me, it's like, you know, lots of punchlines, lots of bars. It's not just the flow. It's not just that he raps fast or something like that. He's got a lot of
I don't know about lots, but I did think there was some good ones.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot. I feel like it's a lot. I feel like he's a top tier rapper, and that's kind of leads us to the next, you know, discussion. Is he, you know, because there's been a lot of talk about, you know, is hip hop in a bad place? Is hip hop, you know, dying? You know, stuff like that. You know, people been making these videos and stuff. So when you have someone like JID, who is he's not new, he's newer. I mean, he's about 10 years, almost 10 years into the game now, but he's just 30 years old now. Do y'all feel like he's made a name for himself enough to be called a top 5 rapper? Is he has the line on it, you know, top 5, 2 shots, you know, might be top 3 or something like that. I forgot how he says it, you know, but you know, what do y'all think? Is he top tier rapper? Top 5 rapper? JID is 34.
Man?
34, like I said.
That dude's 34?
Bro, I know, right? He looks so young.
Well,
the dude looks so young, Doug. I know.
Yo, that dude looks 12.
Yeah, man.
That's funny. So he older than you?
yeah.
I don't know how he
don't got no gray hair like me, you know.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Yeah, I don't top five or what, I guess, man, because it's the stuff's so splintered. I don't know what you put it at. He got great versatility. Mm-hmm. So and he's displaying that on this album, and you know, I'm assuming some of these songs hit for other people, just not me, because I'm such a. It's just not for me. Like, even though I listen to a lot of weird stuff, some of this just don't hit, and I don't understand. So yeah. Man, that's funny.
I guess
that's funny. I don't. So I assume that those songs hit, so it shows his versatility, and that's one of the things that I think is strong for him. I don't know if it's, you know, top 5, but I'm just too biased, man.
I'm gonna say they don't hit because the early projection sales for them look terrible, by the way. But
see, hold on.
Okay, so hold on. Yeah. We gotta talk about the sales is different, man. Like, is that's based on marketing? I haven't seen him doing no nice like press run or rollout, dog. Like, what is the, you know, how does that work?
All right, so because this
and all that type of stuff.
He's doing every podcast right now.
Yeah, this is gonna lead to the next conversation because there have been. Listen, I've seen videos. I've seen there was a lot of narratives about how Dreamville is failing him as in the promo cycle. I saw Charlemagne.
Really?
There was a post. Hold on, here. Let me play.
Who said something?
A lot of people, man. A lot of people.
He did at the Prelux. Yep.
Promo.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. So basically, y'all saying that the promo is trash.
No. A lot of people saying that. I don't think so.
It must not be because if sales is the point, he's not making dusty old dude music. This ain't Rock Marcy. You know what I'm saying? Like who we'll talk about later. So making music just for me or somebody like Boldy. You know what I mean? Working with Craven. Like these is I would think in line with the masses as far as beats and vibes. So. Why isn't it then being more successful? Is he on, what is his label situation? Is he just on Dreamville? I thought that was not the same thing anymore.
I don't even know. My thing is, to me, here's the thing. To me, it's I just feel like I don't understand why people expect every rapper to like be making a cajillion like to have 100,000 streams or something like that. I don't see why it matters. To me, it's all about quality of music.
That's what I thought.
And yeah, Dreamville ended that deal with UMG. That's true. All right. So but to me, it's all quality of music, right? And this dude has consistently made quality music. I don't care if it's streams or if his numbers are, what his first week numbers are. And even he has this line in the first song or whatever. People arguing over, record sales like
numbers like the executives. Yeah.
I think that's I agree with that sentiment. I think that's weird that we always have this discussion when we're talking about hip hop, like the numbers matter. When we talk about Nas being the GOAT, it's not because he's the number one seller or
but hold on though, because people turn right around and tell you such and such is because of their sales,
and that's lame. I always hated that argument. I
agree, but that's not a universally panned argument in hip hop. Like people say that. People say, "Oh, such and such went triple platinum." Or Nicki sold more than anybody in history, and Drake sold more than Michael Jackson, and these type of sales numbers, as if that's huge feathers in these people's caps, which it is, in a commercial sense, as far as your viability in music and business. To move whatever you got to move to sell out arenas. But you're right, as far as your personal record, your personal ranking will be based on how you feel about the music.
So yeah, I mean, and I agree. But my thing is, even in the past, even in the 90s, even in the golden era, there were always the mid-level record labels. There was the Raucous Records or the whatever, record labels that people were still respected, even though they didn't get as many radio hits. It didn't have as much promo or whatever. Still
I mean, you were young then, dog. Yeah, but you was young then, dog. You don't remember those arguments we had. We had arguments over the same shit. It was the same thing then. It was these people make real hip hop. These people are sellouts. You know what I'm saying? We argued all the time over, and some people would stand strong on a Most Def is better than Jay-Z. Jay-Z's a sellout, and this people did this, and this guy would never sell out, and this guy sold out and he stopped selling. Like that was always, remember, I mean, you had people way back in the early 90s with the sellout stuff. Remember, people used to hate on MC Hammer. People hated on just name a dude that was popular, that was hate for him. They had all kinds of songs about him. Stupid shit like Pop Goes the Weasel and stuff like that. Like, just talking about some of these lames that was out here doing silly stuff to be commercially viable. It's never gonna be always the same. Some people need that platinum plaque, and that stuff is validation for artists. So it's easy to dismiss it, of course. Like in the lane and the type of music I like, I don't want to hear some of these hits that was big pop hits. Like I used to hate I still hate on that Annie song, the Jig and Annie song, Hard Knock Life. I hate that song. But people love that song, and then people say, "Oh, see, he went 5 times platinum on his album. That shows how he's the greatest." See, and that's like that's what it is.
Yeah, and so, but this kind of to my point. It's not like JID is not selling any records. Like he has platinum plaques. It'd be one thing if he was doing no numbers or something like that, but he has platinum records. That surround song record was a hit. I mean, or it went platinum. It went big on TikTok or whatever, stuff like that. So the thing is, it's not like he's not successful. And he talked about in several interviews how, what he cares about is, people coming out to his shows, and he's got people going to his shows. He's happy. So what's the issue? Like, why is it that people because there's a lot of people talking about rollouts right now, especially after the clips, right?
That's interesting. That's an interesting conversation.
Rollouts to the clips, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone. So I want to play this clip from the Breakfast Club too, because they were dissing the rollout too. So here, I'm gonna play this clip.
Listen, you know who I want to salute, man? I want to salute the JID, man. JID dropped a phenomenal body of work. Dropping the clues bombs for JID. He dropped a phenomenal body of work called
JID.
What, JID, JID, whatever.
I do the same thing.
Yeah. It's called God Does Like Ugly. Have y'all heard the album yet?
I haven't. No. I saw some critiques on it though.
Listen, it's nothing like a conscious lyrical rapper from Atlanta. Okay, think Outkast, think Goody Mob, think Killer Mike, think T.I. When a lyrical, conscious, still street artist from Atlanta snaps, it hits different, and that's what JID gave us. And I don't know what the record label is doing with this project because I didn't see the rollout. I don't know. Was there a rollout?
There was. Slightly ish.
We didn't see much of it. No.
Yeah, I feel like people talking about the album more is what made people go listen to it.
I feel like these record labels and these artists need to learn from the clips, because I don't know why you would drop a project like this and not have JID out here working. I don't know what that reason is, but we need to play a record off that album. There's a record on there called Skate with Sierra and Earth Gang. That should be on the radio. Let the record show. We played that JID record because we like it. Okay, nobody at the label asked us to play that record. Very important to say that, because those record people will act like they working and they not.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Okay. You just took somebody's credit this morning.
You damn right. Nobody do.
None.
Take credit for something that they didn't do.
Exactly.
Somebody was like, well, I told Envy and them to play that this morning.
No. Exactly. He'll lie. They'll lie. Okay.
He got some kind of issue with their record, with their label. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Somebody that's over at their label. That's
I don't know. It's weird, but this is my thing. It's weird because I don't ever see people talk about rollouts like this. Except this year, and especially like there's other videos on YouTube. Like I was searching for that video, and I saw, like, I'm scrolling past tons of videos that are like, J. Cole failed JID, or the promo failed for JID, stuff like that. So a lot of people feeling this way.
I'm about to say that's an interesting, argument and discussion. You can see it's hard to see like how you make sales these days. So this is the only way that people really can compare it. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you actually see the album, the songs working in the street, this is how people do it. So they look at the rollout and they're like, oh, well, I saw you in 50 interviews, so that would means you did a good rollout. Is that hard to do? Is that like good labeling? Which podcast is gonna say no when you say, hey, we want to come to your podcast? Like, you make 3 episodes a week talking about nonsense. You can easily do, oh yeah, great, come up here, please. Like, what podcast is mad about that? So is that good? Does that make your rollout good?
Exactly. And Cool Man got a great point, because you said the clips rollout ways is weird to me, because LL did the same thing without dissing and wasn't nearly as successful. We talked about that. LL.
With that.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Go ahead.
I'm about to say, like, how was it not successful? It could have been successful to LL. Or are they basing that off of the numbers? Because I felt like it was successful.
Oh, I was gonna make a different point.
Okay, go ahead, Baldy. What's your point?
We could talk about what he's saying, because the numbers is the success is relative for every one of these artists.
Exactly.
Well, we can say the same thing about JID. How do we know that he doesn't feel that this is successful, right? That these numbers are.
It probably is.
So So then my point is, we're comparing what other people deem successful. They talking about just the number. All they care about is the number. You got the Clips got 100 over, 6-figure, first week sales. JID is projected to do 30 something, right? So
there's so much more context required. There's so much more context required to you before you compare it. And that's what I was about to say about the LL thing. I don't know what LL put into his album budget wise. I don't know how much it costs to get Q-Tip to work with you all year or however long it takes to make an album. Like, does he charge a lot? Does he charge LL a legend? How much does it cost to record your album in the Louis Vuitton headquarters? Do you? I mean, is that a thing for you? Is Pharrell just saying here for free since we've been friends for life? Is Pharrell saying, hey, these are all Pharrell beats and I charge $1 million a beat and this is how much we need to make? Or because it costs them so much to get off their label that they got to get a certain amount of sales and money? Like, it's different for every artist, man. Like, they have big time brand collabs with artists like Cause doing their cover. Is that all free because they love Pharrell? It might all be free, and so they just making money. But to others, that has for the outside, for the consumer, that hits, like, that has some kind of cachet of high end, and it all goes together with it. So of course you got one of the most famous dudes making beats at Louis Vuitton. Two dudes ain't been out for a long time, pent up demand. Wow, they drop a release and then they all over when they do the promotion. It seems really well done. That's not necessarily the same for JID. We've seen him around. He's got singles. He's more active. There's not 15 years of, hey, I wish JID would come out with an album pent up for his album release.
Yeah, and I agree. Is the context is completely different. There's so much different context, and to me, the main difference in context is, like back to Cool. This is why I agree with Cool's statement originally, because LL went on a long run. I was mad at his rollout. In fact, he was on every podcast, just like every rapper goes, every podcast, every show.
He was on there for months
and months.
Instead of the Clips did it all in like a 2-week span.
No, the Clips it wasn't
as long. It still was like a month.
Long. It wasn't
nearly like that.
But it was still like 6 weeks. Because remember, they had the first interview, and then and then another week they released the track list, and another week they released a single, and another week they released another single, and another. It was each week they did something, and so that was
videos, right? Yeah. See,
yeah. But every week it was something about beef. All right, it started with Kendrick. UMG won't release our album because Kendrick's on our album and Drake is suing. And so it connected immediately to the two biggest rappers in hip hop. All right, JID is not connected to them in any way, right? In no way is he's connected to them. He's no way connected to that beef, so you don't get the draw from that. Then it was, now this is Travis Scott, and that's one of the biggest rappers, biggest, artists or whatever. So again, he connected to another third huge artist, and then now I'm distant Kanye.
Then he went on interviews and talked about it too, to gas it up more too. Yeah.
So that Clips rollout was connected to every big artist, or not every big, but so many big artists. Like
talking about Kanye in interviews. Yeah. That's a little different.
So comparing everything to that rollout is just not fair. Like that's a once in a lifetime.
That's a lot of stuff lining up.
Exactly. So I think it's dumb for people to keep going back to that rollout as if it was, if it's a blueprint for other people to copy.
I mean, look, it seems like it's more of a style over, you make your choice how you want it to be. Like, it seems like he's everywhere. It seems like it's getting appropriate burn. It's just not to that same level. But I mean, is he doing all the talk shows and all the type of podcasts that's available? I mean, I feel like I've seen him on a few of them. If you do Joe Budden, you're getting a big audience. You're getting people to listen, to look at it. I just don't know if he has that same cachet either in the culture as a Clips.
Okay. I mean, I think so. I mean, of course he doesn't. He doesn't have that same history. But I do think, I guess that's some people's problem, right? That's why some people say that Dreamville is failing him, because I think some people see his talent and say he should be as big as XYZ.
Didn't
whoever.
What's her name say that too? That the label, the chick, the singer. Didn't she say Dreamville let her down or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's probably why too. Like, you already got that narrative out there.
Yeah, but Ari complained about. I mean, listen, I love Ari Lennox. I mean, but she complained about everything. She complained about,
Okay, but but somebody. So now that will be. So one person said it. Now you see another person who you also think is talented, and now you want to say it about them too. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know nothing about this, and that's the thing is so interesting. Is if a song pops on TikTok, then like, will that skate song get played all the time when people doing skating moves? I have no clue, but that contributes to artist sales and living these days. Yeah, I like what y'all was saying though in the chat about these one producer albums. I don't know, but I think it's probably different for everybody.
I mean, Surround Sound was big because it blew up on TikTok, and that's what the kids, how it reaches the kids and stuff. So my thing is that I think what Dreamville doesn't do that some of these other labels have done, and to get people where they're at, is the industry game stuff, the gamesmanship, the fake, the bots, the fake streams, just blast this artist everywhere, like this type of stuff. JID himself doesn't. He said it, he don't like doing interviews. So I think a lot of it is on the artist. Like, we always blame, want to put the blame on Cole for some reason, but like, JID gets to choose whether he want to be on a podcast. He gets to choose whether he want to be in a video with Will Smith dancing around. Like, he can choose what kind of stuff he does. You know what I mean? Like, that's on him. I think it's weird to just put it all on something else. So I think what we can and what we should be, celebrating is, JID talked about on the Joe Budden podcast is how J. Cole has financially, provided for the label. That's what we should be celebrating. Like, who cares how many streams you're doing if your music is great, you're making great music, and you making a living? That's it. Like, what else can
we talked about this. So we talk about this so many times, man. Success is relative, and people will say, especially in music, they compare success to these other people, and say if you're not reaching that type of level, then you're failing. That's consistent. That's consistent, in music. Plenty of people make music and don't do nothing but, just sing on the weekend in the local town, and they'll never have big hits on charts, and they make a living singing music, singing songs, do music. Then you got artists that, okay, so you won't be a 100 millionaire, but you're gonna make better money than the working man, and you ain't gotta get up every day and work. You an artist. I mean, it's you do work, but I mean, it's not the same thing. You doing something that you care about in a way that some people would do it for free. Like people love music.
You make a living off your art, not off of.
So it's interesting. That is a blessing. Like, it's not, but again, then you get in the comparisons. Oh, well, Doja Cat sold this many records. Why you ain't selling no records? Your label must suck. Doja Cat must be so hot. She making better music than you, etc.
And that's exactly what Jay was talking about in the line. All right. It's like, you arguing about numbers like you a record exec. Like, why do fans do that? We don't, like, that shouldn't matter. We should be talking about who had the best bars, who had the best songs, who made the best album, not who is the biggest numbers. It's just lame. It's a lame argument. So
it's lame, and I agree with what you're saying, and I hate the numbers arguments, but it's one of the few ways people can try to quantify something. And back in the day, I feel like these things were legitimate. Like, people really went to the store and bought the record. I don't trust these records that the numbers they be saying now, because you can just make them up and nobody would know. There's no way to verify. You know what I mean? It was so, but this is why fans do it. It's because it's something to hold on to. Because we had never agreed. Like, we could just argue back and forth all day. I like this artist better. This artist better. We'll argue all day, and there's no answer. There's no way to win the argument. Well, people want to win the arguments, and so numbers is a way that you can try to throw that out there. I mean, that's what Jigga did.
Yeah, and this is to me, this is right to the point right here. Kai said, they like to feel validated. They love when they are part of the crowd, you know. And to me, and to me, that's never what hip hop was about. Like, that's not the spirit of hip hop. It's not about being a part of the crowd. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So
it is about being fly. You know, that's part of it. Showing out, showing off yourself, your creativity. And so, you know, people, again, I think it's all conflated because, you know, sales are the only way to show it, right? Jigga said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't, right? And so people repeat that all the time because they'd be like, the numbers, you know, it matters.
But the numbers do lie.
Artists.
The numbers do lie now,
the numbers are all lies because you try to tell me what they said. Doechii is the #1 streaming artist in the world, and I'm sorry, I don't believe it. So you have to give me some evidence to show that. But no.
Yeah,
I completely disagree.
I disagree. Yeah, I disagree with this too. Yeah, because again, we got like I said, the bots and stuff like that. Listen, I don't know if y'all saw the post too. I mean, people were talking about it, how Kendrick Lamar from February to now or whatever have lost almost 1 billion monthly listeners or something like that. It's almost 1 billion monthly listeners that he's lost. You know, so like, you know, there were a lot of people, you know, chanting, "Look, he's number one," but like. If you know, I don't know if it was bots or if it's just hype from the Super Bowl or whatever, but that don't last. Like that's not what matters. Like what matters is the music. That's what lasts forever. Like, you know.
Thank you. What's popular doesn't matter because it doesn't last forever. It's popular now, and in today's society, that's popular today might be lame as tomorrow, and then we'll be on some other stuff the next day. I don't know if I completely agree with this. I mean, I hate social media, but I just think this is what people do. People get on the internet, we want to argue. So people on the internet want to argue. You want to try to win, this is what you do. You go to numbers because it's something that you really can't dispute, except they don't look right. They don't look real. How is bots different? They had to do something with them albums. They had to put them somewhere, give them away to some church or something. So it's you couldn't fake that many albums. And then also the streams, they're worthless basically. You listen to a song one time, it's worthless to the artist. Even when TLC was getting screwed over by a record label and wasn't making no money for selling like 20 million records, they was making more money per song than per listen. I feel like than what these streaming artists are getting. They just not getting no money, and so the numbers they're huge numbers for this to me.
And this is why we should be celebrating, you know, Dreamville and J. Cole right here. Because from this clip, I'm gonna play from JID here.
So Dreamville, and Cole looked out for everybody that was a part of Dreamville.
I heard Boss talk about that.
That's one of the most beautiful things in hip hop right there. That never fucking happens. That never fucking happened. And it happens to the regard where if niggas on Dreamville that was a part of it don't want to do music and they just want to move on with their life, they'll be good.
That good.
Be straight like Dreamville. So Dreamville.
Yeah. So you know, and it was clarified they didn't sell, but they just ended their deal with UMG or whatever. But regardless, for JID to say, like, you know, we got paid enough so we could not make music again and be good. Like that, what you usually hear in hip hop from every other executive, every other rapper is how they've been robbed, right? How you know, this, you know, person, you know, I ain't get paid for this, I ain't get paid for that, I ain't get no money from this album or whatever. You know, but here you're hearing a complete opposite story. You're hearing J. Cole, who, you know, I'm sure is probably the artist who made the label the most money. I mean, the biggest artist on the label or whatever. But because of how they've done their business, they'd have to do a bunch of bots. They'd have to do a bunch of, their artists may not have the most Grammys or all other industry stuff, but all the artists taken care of financially. What else could you ask?
Nah, I mean, look, and this shows you what a great dude Cole is, man. Like he you know, he apologized like a bitch, but the dude straight up, really living it. And he's probably not that Greek. Like he could have easily, him and his business partner or whatever, whoever his manager is, whoever runs the label with him, could have took that money, easily pocketed that money, and not even told nobody. You know what I mean? Like nobody would know. None of the artists would even know until years and years later. And the dude would be, talking about how he opening a charter school and he doing so good, and y'all broke. Oh, that sucks.
Right.
But he ain't do that.
That's what you heard. That's what
people preach. People say, "Oh, we're gonna do this for our people" and all this type of stuff, but he actually living it.
Right, but that's the example we've seen in every other rapper that owned. I mean, how many rappers have talked about how Diddy, robbed them or didn't pay them? Right? How many? Every artist that he's ever signed, and people still talk about him. He's a hip hop legend. There's people celebrating him getting off of the RICO charge and stuff like that. Weird behavior. How many artists complain about deals with Jay-Z or whatever stuff like that? How many artists complain about every artist that signed a rapper almost has complained, you know what I mean? With business. So this is the only time really where you have somebody saying, no, we actually got paid. You know what I mean? Like,
greatest label of all time, man. Come on, man. Who else but Cole?
Okay, that's not true though. I mean, greatest label as far as like the way he handled his business, probably, yeah. I mean, I guess, like I said, you hook up the workers who made the wealth. That's great. Good for you.
Yeah.
I like this comment right here, man. I like this comment right here a lot. This is really one of the biggest issues. And this affects us all in different ways, but you don't have no attachment if you're moving so fast. You can get it. It's always gonna be there for you too. It's never gonna be messed up. You never gonna have to worry about it getting scratched up. You never have to do any of that. Because remember, I used to get CDs and you'd be careful with that thing. Oh, put it back in my case. Put it on my, put your case on the shelf. Or you had that book with the soft paper, put the CDs in. Because you don't want to get messed up because it was yours. You owned it. You felt like you needed to take care of it forever. It don't matter when you got it on your phone anytime. And that's one of the reasons why we got short attention spans. You throw that shit away and move on to the next thing in 5 seconds.
Yeah, no, the attention span is so short. I mean, just when I was still using CDs, I just remember like there'd be times when they'd be like, I have the same 3 CDs in my car or whatever, like, or you know what I mean, or you got the same 3 CDs, or 5 CDs in your CD case, and you just need to switch them out. That's it. That's what you got to listen to. Go to school. This is it. I you know what I mean. So
I remember
you just memorized every word.
The people that had the CD changer in the trunk. They had to stop that, get up, go in the trunk, open that thing, and then put the CDs in the. It's like 10 of them would go in there.
At least you could have like 6 at once instead of just one CD in the thing. Man. So that was
clean. That was like the flyish. Yeah, man. That's funny to think about now.
All right, man. But that's dope. Let us know in the comments, man, what y'all think. Is JID a top 5 rapper right now? I saw you came in late. I saw him say the album was mid, but I think B-Dog gave it a 7 like usual. Baldy gave it a 7. I gave it an 8. I like the album, but I don't think it's as good as the Forever Story was. It's got way more skips than that, but I thought it had some pretty high highs. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments what y'all thought. And is JID top 5? And if not, who right now is better? How many people right now are better? And then we're gonna move on to some other music, man. We also had Rock Marciano drop an album. And with Premier, DJ Premier, Rock Marciano and Premier. I was surprised to see those 2 names together. I don't know if anybody else was, but I was surprised to see it. So let me pull it up. And it's called The Coldest Profession.
I too was very surprised to see it.
All right, so it's just 8 tracks.
I heard what was the song that heard Armani section before, so I knew this was coming, but I was surprised as well.
So it's 8 tracks, 20 minutes. It's a quick listen. What y'all thoughts on?
Super quick.
Yeah. What y'all thoughts
way too fast, man. Like, oh man, this album ended way too quick. I thought it would be more, but it's a good album. I like it. Nothing. I don't know if it's spectacular yet. I gotta listen to it more. I was really trying to dive in on that JID album more than this.
Okay. All right.
I like this a lot. I like this a lot. I got a lot of. I saw a lot of different, talk and about this album. So I'm interested to hear what y'all thought about it.
Well, okay. My thoughts are, I mean, Rock Martin does what he always does. But to me, I feel like Premier. Listen, I don't know if Premier's lost a step or if this is him trying to make music that's more to fit Rock Marcy's style, or if Rock Marcy picked these particular beats. But to me, the production wasn't what I expected. When I see Premier on producing an album, I definitely expected better. The only
so let me go ahead.
Well, so the best beats to me and the ones that I like the most were "Good to Go" and "Execution Style." Those are my favorite songs on the album. So,
I mean, I like those songs a lot. I gotta, I'm interested to know, like, because I've heard other people say this. Premier fell off. Well, what is this going? What's going on here? I didn't hear that, and maybe I'm wrong. I was surprised that was so often said. Oh, this is wrong. He's not at all.
we gonna argue about the top 5 at the end of the show, but yeah.
I didn't think that. I didn't love like Armani section. I didn't love Armani section.
Okay.
But they Premier said it, and I heard it in an interview too. That's what kind of where they linked up. That's kind of where this even started, and so that's what they did. But I like the rest of these beats, and I like this. I like this album. I don't. People say like there's certain elements that's missing. I guess I don't really see it. I think Prayer is good, and I think it's a perfect beat for Rock Marcy, and it's not Rock Marcy norm. So you know how he would do it. It's still kind of the lower key version of Premier. Like, isn't that what he's supposed to be doing? Or maybe am I misinterpreting it? Because I'm obviously a Premier stan and a Rock Marcy stan. I mean, I think Rock Marcy is better than your favorite. So, I have that affinity. Is that why? Am I clouded?
Yeah, I mean, I think you love Rock Marcy so much. So I mean, you like all the albums he does with everyone. You love the ones he does with Alchemist. You love them all.
But I don't love all his albums. I mean, he has albums I don't love. He just has a lot of albums, and so he has a lot of music. I mean, it's not like he drops 2 a year or something like that. At least 1 a year, since 2010. So he got a lot of albums. But like I like Prayer Hands. I like Good to Go. Good to Go is weird. And that one is very that's very much a Rock Marcy type of Premier, and Rock Marcy kind of like place to me.
Right. Exactly.
So if that's why it's not good, I get that. Because I guess maybe people expected different. I don't know.
I just look, man, I hear when usually there's so many Premier beats that like I can, I can hear, like there's a lot of songs where when it's a really great beat, you just know I can know the beat. I instantly recognize the instrumental, stuff like that. There's some songs that like I need to hear the chorus before I know what the song is. Or, I need to know, I need to hear the verse before I know what the song is. But there's so many Premier beats that are just like the beat itself is iconic. Like, regardless of who's rapping on it, as soon as you hear it, you recognize it. But that's not how I felt on this album. I didn't feel like I wasn't wowed by any beats. Overall, I would say, both the Alchemist album and the Pharrell produced albums this year are better productions than this. So I, when I see DJ Premier, I'm expecting.
Don't agree with that.
Okay, go ahead. Go.
I hated the production on that Eclipse album, but this, I don't think the beats are bad. I do think they're made for rock. Like that's what it sounds like to me. So I'm not mad at it. I don't think they're bad. I just don't think that rock always raps over the greatest beats.
Exactly. That's how I do feel like Rock Marcy probably picked these beats and like they met in the middle. They made this music together in a sense. I don't think that it's a showing of that Premier can't make a good beat. You know what I mean? That's but that's what some people are saying. You know, that's the worry because
No, I heard the same thing, man. I heard the same. I mean, I was surprised, you know, and I listened to the album a couple times before I start listening to other people's opinions. I don't want their opinions to kind of really judge, influence mine in any way before I get to hear the music. This album's so short, you can spin it twice, and before in the same time you can spin that JID album once, basically. So, you start, but like I like I said, I like this. I like these songs. I thought these songs were cool. Not like the greatest songs. I'm not jumping up and down about them. This not as good as Rock of Marciology or anything like from last year, but I like these songs.
And so, I mean, yeah, I agree. I like some of the songs. What'd you give it overall? Before we go further, what would you give the rating? What's your rating? You give it a 7? Wait, so you think this is just as good as the JID album? Oh,
yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I do. And like I said, I got to live with it more because I really did just try to drill all of that JID album like as much as I can because it's way longer. But I'll probably listen to this a lot more.
The thing with this is, it's hard when you judge an album. When you ask like, is this as good as the JID album? I would say I enjoy it as much, but JID making a full album, and this is a quick hitter. Some songs. It's not an album. Like they made some music together. It's a collection, but is there a theme here? Is there something here that's on like that's tying that together like God does like Ugly? No. And so when I rate it, I'm rating it just beats and raps. I think the beats and raps are good. I think this is like a 7 or an 8. I'm gonna listen to a lot of these songs some more. Prayer Hands gonna get played for me. Good to Go. I like Glory Hole and Remarkable or Rock Markable. I like Travel Fox.
I like Rock Markable. But yeah,
Execution Style is probably one of the best ones on it. So
yeah, for sure. I'd say, I mean, I'd give this a 6, man. I really couldn't get higher. I mean, a lot of that to me is, Rock Varsity always brings the raps, and it's less boring than I find a lot of his albums, because at least Premier does have drums on his stuff. So, I'm not the biggest Rock Marcy fan, but I think this was, I know you
the greatest hip hop artist living, man. Rock Marcy, man.
So we're not gonna get into that.
Dude got like 7 classics. Dude got like 7 classics, man. He produced like 2 classics for other people, man.
Hey, like I said, I know, I know the Rock Marcy.
Make sure you put that respect on Rock Marcy, man. The dude is the best, man. He's one of the best.
All right, well, yeah. Y'all let us know in the comments too if y'all feel the same way as Baldy or if this album is just not for you. All right. We'll go to the next topic. Oh, well, first before we move on, the part of why everyone's talking about Premier falling off is do y'all feel like this is gonna affect Nas's album? We know Nas is dropping the album with Premier later on this year, part of the 7 albums he's gonna drop with Masterfield. Do y'all feel afraid or anxious that Premier won't bring it? Maybe the same way Hit Boy did or something like that.
No, I don't feel that way at all.
Yeah. Why? I don't underestimate the artist that's working on it. So I was worried about it before. I feel like either it could just never appear, or it could be a letdown just because the expectation is so high. I don't know if the expectation is as high for this. We never heard Rock Marcy and Premier. So this is a nice teaser. Nas and Premier got some of the greatest hip hop songs ever made. It's a lot different as far as what you expected, and expectations are how you ruin, something that your enjoyment or something. If you got expectations up here and you hear it and it's only here, then it's a letdown. But here it might be better than most people's album.
Yeah.
It's all about that part matters. Like I think Nas is in a place right now where he's making rap for the love of rap, and he kind of has I think he's in a good place where he kind of knows what he wants to put out and where he wants to be sound wise. So I think that it would be good because he'll either get it out of Premier or it won't even come out. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Shout out Father Football, man, always important. And
appreciate you.
100%.
And yeah, I agree with Cool too. He agrees with you. I trust Primo and Nas. It should definitely be better than. It should be better than this.
Well, first of all, it'll be a whole album, man. I think it'll be a real album. So I think it'll be
even if it's 10 tracks, I mean,
yeah, I think
this was 8.
Yeah, this is 7. This has 8 numbers. Premiere talks for 20 seconds on one of them. Like that's not
right,
even
right. You're right.
I think it'll be a solid 35, 40 minutes though. Like I think it'll be a real album, and I think you will have Nas coming with certain things that are going to be just different. I think there'll be more song concepts. I think it's going to be more of that a real album. Whereas this to me is not that.
Yeah, agreed. I agree. So here's hoping. All right.
I mean, I have faith, man. That I'm more concerned about stuff like the Mass Appeal run. What do we got so far from that? We got the Slick Rick. Fantastic. Right?
All right. Yeah.
No?
I mean, y'all thought it was fantastic. I ain't love it. But
look, I've gone back to multiple songs in there a lot, and I played the whole movie. Like the other day when I was playing video games, I was just like, "Hey, this is cool, man. Slick Rick, this is awesome."
To me,
and the document
I really
song
only go back to Landlord. I really only go back to Landlord, and then yeah, I mean that's it. So.
And then you have who else? Raekwon was on there. Was Raekwon one of those?
Raekwon, yeah.
That Ray album was good. I'm more worried about Supreme Clientele too, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That one got me worried. That's got me more worried.
Yeah.
So I trust Nas and Premier to come out with something probably better than my man Ghostface, dog. I hope I'm wrong. Well, I mean, I hope they're both great, but.
See, I'm the opposite. I have high hopes for the Ghostface because, like I said, the way he was rapping on the Raekwon, and I like the single that he dropped. I know you didn't love it that much, but I like the single, and I like the energy he's rapping with. So he sounds, and to me, as long as he bring the energy, I know he got ear for beats and stuff like that's not the part I have an issue with. But with the Nas and Premier don't bring the beats, then it doesn't matter, what Nas is the ear for. And we've known Nas to pick bad beats before, so I mean.
But Nas on a winning streak, man. Like he on a winning streak right now.
Yeah.
Ghostface not on a winning streak right now, dog. Unless you count that Ray album, man. Like his albums ain't been that. It ain't been Ghost. It ain't. Look, I mean, I was day one front row for like Ghostface's like late career wave where he was just dominating. I felt like every album he came out with was like amazing. Up until what, like 12 Reasons to Die Part 2? Like the first one was good. I was like, yo, what the? But then that didn't continue. And basically it started, that was kind of it right there. And it's been like that to me since. Guest spots, of course, Ghost still got it. But his albums ain't been that. And that's part of why I'm so concerned, man. Because if he come out with something great now, it's almost like a big turnaround.
Okay. I hear that. It makes sense. So, all right, let's move on, though. Let's get to, last week we talked a lot about this, Jay-Z versus Black Thought discussion. Will.i.am said, Black Thought was a trillion times better than Jay-Z. And then last week as well, right after we did our podcast last week, Mickey Fax started talking about, he went, a clip of him talking about Lupe versus Kendrick went, started going crazy. Everyone started talking about that again. And I just want to talk about, man, because, we also have a lot of people comments, kind of killing us, about the, our take on Black Thought, Jay-Z thing too. So I just want to talk about this whole, how we rate lyricism. How do we rate lyricists? How do we compare them? I think it's still an interesting conversation to have. So, have y'all thoughts changed at all from last week or anything? Or what?
No, my thoughts never changed, man. Obviously, I don't think anyone's a trillion times better than anyone else. Like a trillion times better. Like, I don't know if a rapper exists that's a trillion times better than Blueface, who's the worst rapper I ever heard in my life. So a trillion times is a lot. You can be better or worse, right? I mean, you take that out of it, and I think it's discussions. And I think discussions are based on, obviously preference is going to matter, but everybody listens to music differently. Some people love hooks in songs and choruses. I don't care about choruses. Generally, I listen to a lot of music that don't have choruses, and that's great, right? But it impacts how you feel about the songs. People will hear like one line or the end of a verse and hold on to that instead of like people that get on the mic and start doing all kinds of technical shit. And so, yeah, so it comes up like this, and this is one of the things, like, you know, and Jigga said this was why he made it simpler. So people catch all the stuff you're saying, as opposed to Mural, which is one of the most complex songs you could ever think of. I can't quote Mural. I can't quote those bars. Yeah, what's the quotable on there? The shit is so complex that it's like, I mean, you can sit there and study this shit, but is it just some kind of quotable? You can be like, oh, like every line is like 4 meanings and shit for 9 minutes straight.
Yeah, and this is kind of what I was thinking too when we were talking about these lyricism debates. My issue is the term lyricism. You know, we always use it so broad, so general. It could apply to so many things. You know, and a lot of different rappers do so many different things when they're writing, right? Whether they're storytelling, or whether they're doing punchlines, or whether they're doing entendres, or they're have social commentary, or they're just bragging about themselves. There's so many different things that rappers do in their rhymes, and so my thing is, when we started talking about the Jay-Z versus Black Thought thing, it's like Jay-Z has these one-liners. Black Thought puts together like these verses where it's all so many rhymes, and and each line connects to the next, and he's talking about history and and all kinds of different topics that he goes on. It's not the same, and it doesn't sound as cool as just like a cool one-liner about how rich you are or something like that, because it's just not Black Thought style. And so I just feel like it's hard to compare different people who do completely different things, and whenever we have the lyricism discussion, that's almost like always what it's about. Like, and so it's always talking about when we started talking about Black Thought, people turned the conversation into give me the quotable, and it's all about the quotable. And it's like, all right, so now we're just boiling rap down into who has the most quotables. Then if that's the argument, if our argument is quotables, cool. Then all right, Jay-Z got it, right? I don't have an argument. Okay, all right, Kiss, great. All right, Jada Kiss got great quotables. Prodigy got great quotables. You know what I mean? Lots of different rappers have great quotables. They're not the same rappers that we may consider the great of the other stuff. You know what I mean? So it's just interesting, when we do that. So I wish that instead of always talking about lyricism, people were a bit more specific in what they were trying to say. Someone was great at. Like if someone said such and such is the best storyteller, then like that to me, they'd be like, okay, cool. Let's compare the two stories. Let's compare this story versus that story, or something. Or if someone said, oh, this person is the best at rhyming word, or has the highest vocabulary, that's something we could actually prove, you mean analytically, and it'd be less subjective. But it's hard to, everyone's
because some people will say like the greatest writer can write something real simply, right? Like make this profound statement, right? In the simplest way. And then some people are gonna do, tons of, like I said, I just go back to like Mural as the most complex type of song I could think of, where you have just all this stuff that goes into a theme of that song, which goes into a theme of a larger album, which all relates to each other. And then this part relates to the end part. And he has stuff in there that's like the first 5 lines, and then it comes back in line 105. Like it's just like it's like a science equation. So that does something different for different people. You're gonna pick up different spots that you like. In that specifically in that Mickey Fax thing they were talking about when they were talking about Lupe. I was getting frustrated because it's crazy to me how you could he's talking about Lupe Fiasco and people were acting like it was like insane to say that he's better than Kendrick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a constant conversation.
I think that is. I don't understand that, man. The dude that is not that lyrically. I just haven't seen that in quite some time. At least since Good Kid, Mad City. I feel like. I think he has some great, amazing guest spots. I think the one on the clips is great, but I don't know. I mean,
but even that one on the clips
didn't have none of that.
Yeah, the GNX. Well, I like the Glorious song. I mean, again, he's got good storytelling tracks for sure. He's always had that. But my thing is even the one on the clips is not as good as like multiple JID verses this year are better than that. I think that the JID verse on Gold Feet is better than that Kendrick verse. But my thing is, I hate the Lupe Kendrick comparison. Always, it's like so much history to it now. Like people only. Like I don't know. It always bothers me whenever this is talked about. But to me, and this is part of why I want to talk about this too. To me, so much of who is considered the best lyricist is also about who's the most popular. People, the way people reacted to Mickey in that clip. I have to pull it up. I should pull it up. But the way people reacted to Mickey in that clip, like he was saying something insane, is just because. They didn't even know. They didn't even know Lupe's music. They were talking about his first 3 albums. They didn't even know, all the stuff he's made afterwards. But because Kendrick is so big, so popular, so pushed in the media, and so talked about, and wins all the Grammys and stuff like that, so celebrated, then it's like that's like a fact. You know what I mean? That people know, and it's the same with Jay-Z. His quotes are often quoted, and he's super popular, so people quote him. I remember so many Jay-Z quotes. Even if I don't love the particular song, I just know the quote because it's said. I'm in hip hop conversation so much, I know the quote. Like I know it. Like you know what I mean? Like it's hard not to.
Yeah, and look, man. I mean, just growing up when I did, we used to argue about these type of. Like I said, we talked about this earlier. We used to argue about the rappers that were not as popular. So people did make these type of arguments about Black Thought and Jay-Z, Mos Def, Common, at these times when people were not, when Jay-Z was the most popular rapper out, it wasn't even that weird. Like this is not a new argument. People have been doing this. The top lyrical rappers been saying that type of stuff for years. It's just weird that I feel like people didn't know who Black Thought was. Like. I feel like people don't know who Black Thought is. I feel like they don't know that he's an album since when Jay-Z was running around in a Hawaiian shirt. And he was barring up tracks at that time. When Jay-Z had 4 styles ago. Like I just it's just weird to me. It's weird to me personally.
Yeah, I think I agree. It's weird to me. It always bothers me. But I mean, people make good points. And listen, I said this last episode too. People quoting Reasonable Doubt. I have no smoke for Reasonable Doubt. It's great. One of my favorite albums of all time. It's one of the most lyrical albums. I've said this before. I feel like Jay-Z started the whole wave of the double entendres thing. I could never take that away from him. Always my issue with Jay-Z, whenever I criticize him, is that to me he never continues that level of lyricism after that. I mean, of course,
he does it. It's just it becomes less and less per album.
Less and less.
It was all of the. I'm gonna say there's like 2 or 3 songs on that first album is not, and then it's about half the next album, or it goes down when he figures out a formula and a balance, and it's like halfway, and then he keeps it there basically the rest of the time. In my opinion, because his goal is not to make the most lyrical album or to be he says he's the greatest, but his goal is to make money.
Right. And I don't like, that's fine. That's his goal. He achieved his goal, and that's great. That's not what I value in hip hop. So, the numbers don't matter to me. To me, so many of my favorite artists have done the opposite. They've gotten better with time. They continue to hone their craft and get better and better and better. We talk about, J. Cole is better now than he ever was. Black Thought, raps, as good now as he ever did. So many of these, Lupe, pushes himself to rap better now than he ever did. Like, to me, I love that about them. I always, that's what I dislike about Jay-Z is that he didn't continue pushing the craftsmanship of his pen. I
don't know if I agree with that.
Opinion, so
I think he just doesn't place the same importance on it. So when he did the Jay Elect album, when he didn't care about sales, he barred Jay Elect ass up.
He did. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's not when it's his album. He got different goals in mind. He's like, I'm about to make this much money, and I'm not doing that on every song. I gotta have this type of song for these people and that type of song for those people. So I just disagree with what his aims are, and that's to me the big difference. That impacts how you hear the album. Like very few people really, I don't know how many in history could do what Big did, because when you think of Big singles, he's barring the singles up like as good as he bars up the songs that's not singles. Like the Street song got bars the same level as like the one more chance remix, dog. This dude's barring those tracks up, and everybody can't do that. Like people might achieve that once or twice, but it doesn't. Most artists can't do that and be successful in that way, and that's part of Diddy's formula with the old school sample of the kind of use that song. Because to me, that's why Big is kind of so unmatched and still so highly regarded, because he's barring up his singles.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up again. I definitely think people make good points. I don't have as many quotes for some of my favorite rappers. One, because my memory is terrible, and I need a lot of times I need to hear the music before I actually can start rapping the verse. This is a constant thing for me. I cannot, if you just ask me on the spot, rap this verse, I don't. But then once the music starts, I can rap it. Like I don't know why that is a thing. So it's hard for me to always, just spit out a quote, in that sense. But I can rap, tons and tons of Black Thought verses that I love, I can rap tons of Lupe verses that I love, and I think if we just were more specific, like, such and such is the best storyteller, or such and such is the best this, or such as like, Nas. I think Nas, one of the GOATs. To me, people say, he's the best. I love his storytelling. To me, is his detailed imagery. That's and just his discography. That's why I say he's the GOAT. I don't think he's got the best double entendres. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm saying. So if we are more specific, then to me it would be like people always change the conversation. Whatever it is, I'm arguing. I'm talking about storytelling, and someone talks about quotes, and I'm like, okay, I'm not talking about quotes, So that's what gets frustrating to me. So, all right. Any other thoughts before we get out of here, man?
Nah, man, I appreciate all the people who tune in.
For sure. Definitely appreciate everybody that tunes in, man. Last thing I want to shout out, for people who, if people are Jay-Z fans, to me, one of the best lyricists. And one of the biggest Jay-Z students, I would say, is Sky Zoo. And he's always been one of my favorite rappers for a long time now. And he's made his own YouTube channel, First Generation Rich. And he's like breaking down his own album, man. So it's super dope. He dropped one episode so far, but I think he's plans on dropping one for every track. And I think that's dope. People should check that out. B-Dog shaking his head. Why don't you like lyric breakdowns, B-Dog? Go ahead. Tell us why you just like.
Because, man, why do you need to break down your lyrics? I don't understand that. Like, why? I don't know, man. That's like explaining a song. Like, either they get the art or they don't. It's not for everybody. So why are you trying to make it for everybody?
That's what Mark Hamill would say. That's why he don't let nobody post his lyrics.
See?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, everybody's different, man. Look, if I write some kind of Shakespearean shit, I want people to recognize it. So I get both sides of it. I understand what you're saying because I agree with what you're saying. I feel like that's how I would move if I was an artist. At the same time, if you write all that and people just sitting up here like, oh, it was all right, but how come you ain't do nothing for the bitches? You know, it's like that's like, dog, I can't talk to you. I'd be pissed. So I'd be like, you don't see what I did? Look at all this shit I did here. Like, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but explaining it ain't gonna never get nobody to appreciate you more. I don't think.
I disagree with that. I think people definitely like to say when we talk about Lupe or something like that. People, when they watch his lyric breakdowns and they appreciate him more, or when people make videos, there's so many YouTubers and stuff like that when they do these lyric breakdowns, stuff like that, they get views because people care to listen and learn about it. And then when people do Kendrick lyric breakdowns, they go, "Wow, he's the GOAT! Oh my goodness, he had a double entendre."
People were already saying that. That's my point.
No. It's not.
That's funny, man.
So yeah. Look, this is funny too. Cool said there's multiple instances of him mishearing lyrics and liking them better than the actual lyrics. That's funny. All right. Well, that's it. We ready to get out of here. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Y'all have a good one. We'll catch y'all next time.
Next week.
Peace. Like and subscribe.